Good afternoon to one and all. This is T Priya from ECEC. Roll number is 20BQ1A04G6. Today I am going to tell about quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is a study of process which are atomic scale. Quantum is a Latin word which is meant by bundle. Therefore, quantum mechanics is used to tell us about microscopic particles. And now we are discuss about wave and particle nature. The concept of wave is easy to grasp, but not more than a particle nature. Particle nature is very easy to grasp. It has mass and definite. Uh, it is located at definite point. It moves from one place to another place. So particle has mass, velocity, momentum, and energy. Whereas wave has wavelength, phase, and amplitude and intensity. Next, radiation is also considered as particle and wave nature. In some cases, radiation is act as a particle nature, and other some cases, radiation is act as a wave nature. Next, expression for wavelength of a matter wave. We know that Einstein equation is equal to mc square and Planck's equation is equals to h mu. By equating these two, h mu is equals to mc square, h mu is equals to pc, and lambda is equals to h by p. In some other cases, we know that kinetic energy is equals to half mv square, and we multiply and divide with m, we get p square by 2m, p is equals to root 2m ke. In the case of electrostatic energy, potential momentum P is equals to root of 2m qv, and we know that lambda is equals to lambda is equals to h by p. So lambda is equals to h by root 2m qv. Particle is accelerated with thermal energy. Then we know that kinetic energy in case of thermal energy is Ek is equals to 3 by 2 kT. P is equals to square root of 2m by 2m ke. Then we get de Broglie equation lambda is equals to h by root 3m kt. Next, properties of matter waves. Lighter particle, greater will be the wavelength associated. Smaller will be the velocity and greater will be the wavelength. When v is equals to 0, lambda is equal to infinity. That is, v is equals to infinity, then lambda is equal to 0. This shows motion of particle waves produced with the particles changed in particle they are uncharged. Now let us discuss about detection of matter waves. The matter waves are generated by both microscopic and macroscopic bodies. However, the wavelengths of matter waves associated with macroscopic bodies are so small that they cannot be detected. So, for these, we have two experiments: Davidson experiment and G.P. Thomson experiment. Now, let us go to Davidson experiment. This is the schematic diagram of Davidson and Gamer experiment. In these, the electron beam and from electron gun, which consists of tungsten filament F heated by a low tension battery LT, accelerated to a desired velocity and applying suitable potential for a high tension battery. The accelerated electron collimated into a fine beam, allowing them pass through a system of pinhole through cylinder A. The fast-moving electrons made to strike the nickel target capable of rotating about axis. The electrons are scattered in all directions. Atomic planes of crystals and intensity scattered electron beam in all directions can be measured by electron collector and can be rotated about the same axis target. The detector is connected to the sensitive galvanometer, which the deflection is proportional to intensity of electron beam entering to the detector. When the detector beam is accelerated by 54 volts, It's tied to the nickel target, and the electron diffraction occurred at 50 degrees at the instant beam. We know that Bragg's equation 2d sine theta is equal to n lambda. 2 into here d is equals to 0.091 into 10 power minus 10, and theta is equals to 65 degrees. Then we get lambda is equal to 0.165 nanometers. In case of de Broglie's wave equation, lambda is equal to 12.26 by root 54. Here voltage is equals to 54. Then we get 1.64. As these two values are near to the same, thus experiment is verified. Now let us discuss about G.P. Thomson experiment. The schematic diagram of this experiment is as follows. G.P. Thomson performed an experiment with electron accelerated from 10,000 to 50,000 volts. In the pattern, he observed diffraction pattern exactly similar to X-rays. He was able to determine the wavelength associated with the electrons. This experiment supports that diffraction pattern is possible only wave associated with the material particle. The high energy electron beam is produced by the cathode C. The beam excited with the potential up to 50,000 volts. A fine pencil of electron beam is obtained by passing through the slit. Is accelerated fine beam of electron falls on a film G made up of gold and aluminum having very small thickness. The photograph of a beam from tin foil is recorded on the photographic plate. The total setup is placed in a vacuum chamber so that electron may not lose their energy due to the collision with the molecule of gas. After doping the plate, a symmetrical pattern consisting of concentric rings in the central part are observed. As the diffraction pattern is produced by waves, not by the particles. The following conclusions made by these experiments are: the existence of matter waves because of diffraction pattern produced by the waves, but not by the particles. Thomson calculated wavelength associated with the electron help for the diffraction rings. The wavelength obtained by the diffraction is similar to the wavelength obtained by the de Broglie. The associated wavelength depends upon only the accelerated voltage and independent of material of the target. And now discuss about Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Due to dual nature of material particles, it is difficult to locate the exact position and exact momentum of a particle simultaneously. We are able to explain either momentum or velocity. And let us take an example. In wave packets, the position of particle can be determined but not wavelength. As a result, particle of momentum cannot be measured accurately enough. So with these, Heisenberg gives delta P into delta H is equal to delta P into delta X is equal to H, delta P into delta X greater than or equal to 4H. Now let us discuss about Schrödinger time independent equation. We know that lambda is equals to H by mv and psi of x is equals to xi naught into e power I omega t minus kx. Now we can differentiate the psi of x with respect to x two times. Then we get dou square psi of x by dou x square is equal to psi of e power I omega t minus k square. This we can written as dou square psi of x by dou x square is equals to k square of xi. Now this can be written as dou square of psi of x by plus k square of psi is equal to 0. We know that k is equals to 2 pi by lambda wave vector. Dou square psi of x by dou square x plus 4 pi square by lambda square of psi is equal to 0. Lambda is equals to h by mv. By substituting in above equation, dou square xi of x by dou square x plus 4 pi square m square v square by h square of psi is equal to 0. Here now E is the total energy of moving particle, V is the potential energy, and K is the kinetic energy. We know that K is equals to E minus V, and also half mv square is equals to E minus V. mv square is equals to 2 into E minus V. By multiplying m on both sides, we get mv square is equals to 2m into E minus V. By substituting these equations, we get dou square psi of x by dou square x plus 2m by h bar square E minus V of psi is equal to 0. H bar is equals to h by 2 pi. In one dimensional box, dou square of psi we get dou square psi of x plus 2m by h bar square E of phi is equal to 0. In three-dimensional box, these as written as dou square phi of x plus 2m by h bar into E minus V of phi is equal to 0. Therefore, the Schrödinger equation of time-independent wave equation is dou square psi plus 2m E by h bar psi is equal to 0. Now, time-dependent wave equation. In time-independent wave equation, dou square psi of x phi of x is plus 2m by h bar E minus V of psi is equal to 0. H bar by 2 pi 2m del dou square psi of x plus E minus V of psi is equal to 0. Now we differentiate 1 with respect to t. Then we get dou of phi of x by dou t is equals to I omega of psi of x. We by solving these all, we get h bar by I dou of psi of x by dou t is equals to minus h bar by 2m del square psi of x plus V of u. Now let us discuss about particle in one-dimensional box. Consider a particle in moving box. Inside a box, it moves with to and fro motion. Height of the box is infinity because particle cannot express from the box. The box has potential barrier x is equal to 0 to x is equal to L. The particle has mass m and position at any instant of time is 0 less than x less than 1. Now we know that Schrödinger equation of one-dimensional box is dou square psi by dou x square plus 8 pi m h square into E minus V of psi is equal to 0. But inside the box, V is equal to 0. So this equation becomes dou square psi by dou x square plus k square of psi is equal to 0. The second order differential equation is in the form psi of x is equal to a sin kx plus b cos kx. To get exact solution, we need to apply boundary conditions. So x less than equal to 0 and x greater than equal to L are not considered because they are outside the box. So we applied first boundary condition, then we get b is equal to 0, and second boundary condition we get k is equals to n pi by n. By substituting these two, we get psi of x is equal to a sin n pi by L into x. This is called wave function of the particle moving in one-dimensional box. The value of a can be obtained by applying normalization condition from limits 0 to L xi square dx is equal to 1. By doing this integration, we get a is equals to root 2 by L. By substituting these two, we get psi of n is equals to root 2 by L sin n pi by x. Thank you for